What's good, YouTube, and welcome to the house. Joining me today is GCD. Introduce yourself.
Hello, I'm GCD.
And we're going over Jesse Flores' Gym Knight OTK deck. I don't know much about Gym Knights, but GCD plays it a lot. I've seen him play it very, very well over and over, so he's going to explain the card choices a bit better than me. But first, we're going to get into Jesse Flores' tournament reports, because as always, it's most important to have the duelist and their words with their own deck profile first. So he says, this is my top 8 Fort Worth Gym Knight list, which was like 350 people, by the way. I went 7-1-1, losing to Lightsworn Double Omega Nat Beast with Snow. So that was his only loss, and he tied with ABCs. The deck was insane and only won 3 dice rolls the entire tournament. Block Dragon and Curious were my MVPs. Shout out to Team Boolin and Epic Cards and Games. Deck didn't have to FTK every time and usually killed through 1 to 2 hand traps. He then says, Tourmalines, oh, these were questions you asked him. You asked why Tourmalines over Garnets and why no Asher evenly. He said Tourmalines over Garnet because I originally planned on siding his fusion to our Floodgates and Chaos Hunter, but I couldn't find one, but I kept with it. And then no Ash Blossoms or evenly because I did not have access to them, but I wouldn't use hand traps in the deck regardless. He says he played against 2 ABCs, one of which was the tie, 2 Pendulum Magicians, 2 Lightsworn variants, which the other one, the ridiculous board, was his loss, 1 Trickstar deck, 1 Ritual Beast, and 1 True Draco Stun. So none of his rounds were like a walk in the park. And then he emphasizes again his only loss was to Lightsworn Double Omega Nat Beast and Snow. That's just ridiculous. So overall, a really hard fought tournament, really well done by Jesse. I believe he actually got 8th at 7-1-1 in the tournament. And just a really great showing with this deck. So, GCD, I'm going to have you take it away here, and I'll kind of just curse over the cards as you tell what they do. Like, I've hyped Block Dragon before. It's one of my favorite cards, but you take this one away.
Okay, so at 3, he's running Black Dragon because he always wants to see at least 1 copy of it. If you use it for link material, you get to search 3 rock monsters, which is amazing because in order to kill, you essentially just need a whole bunch of Gem Knight monsters and the fusion, and this gets you a whole bunch of Gem Knight monsters. It's also a special summon monster that you can easily summon, and it protects against destruction. So it helps with burn, it helps with protection, it gets you a ton of resources. It's all around amazing. And you play Crystal Grows because it's a level 2 rock, which fits wonderfully with Black Dragon's level, part to its effect. So when you use Black Dragon, you have to add 3 rock monsters whose total levels equal to 8. And Gem Knights have a lot of 3s, but they have no 2s. So you play Crystal Grows as a 1-of in order to search it, and also because it synergizes nicely as a grave effect, as fusion material for Seraph Knight, Zirconia, and also because you can pitch Lazuli from the deck in order to recycle and use as fusion fodder. Gem Armadillo you play because it's a Stratos, a level 4 Earth rock, can be used for the link and is a great starter. If your opponent isn't too wise, they may Ash it, which is another plus to it. An all-around really strong card. You get up to 2 normals, so you can play this, Orphis, and Rabbit, and it usually doesn't bite you in the butt.
Yeah, I would kind of assume even if you don't know what you're doing against the deck, you would try to save Ash for something like Brilliant Fusion, but I could see a lot of people like feeling pressure and not knowing what to stop and feeling like, oh, this is good.
Yes, that's exactly it. When people play against Gem Knights, a lot of times they don't have experience against Gem Knights, and so they may opt to Ash Armadillo when really the target you want to Ash pretty much every time is either the Black Dragon or the Quartz, because Quartz gets you fusion, which you need, and Black Dragon gets you everything else, which you also kind of need. 3 Lazuli because it's amazing. You can trigger so many times in a turn off of Crystal Rose, off of just fusion summoning, off of Brilliant Fusion, off of your Lapis Lazulis, and you can recycle it back with Quartz. So if you get a really insane hand, you can use these guys up to 6 times in a turn. But that never happens. Gemnite Obsidian is just Lazuli, but you have to use him from the hand. But he also contributes for Brilliant Diamond, Lapis Lazuli Burn, and a whole bunch of other good stuff. So he's an auto 3 of in any Gemnite deck. He's also level 3, which works nicely with Black Dragon, because you can search a copy of Obsidian, Lapis, and Crystal Rose. I don't know what else to say about him, but he's very good, and I like him. Everyone likes him. Lone Fire Blossom, because you're playing the Predaplants, and you consistently want to see the Predaplants because it gets you Brilliant Fusion, and you want a consistency Brilliant Fusion, because Brilliant Fusion is amazing. And even if you have Brilliant Fusion, it gets you Gemnite Fusion. And even if the Gemnite Link can get you Brilliant Fusion, the Gemnite Link can also get you any Gemnite card. So if you have the Predaplant engine and you have a Brilliant Fusion, instead of searching Gemnite Fusion off of your Link summon, you can instead grab a copy of Gemnite Obsidian, which is very good because he's a very good card.
Yeah, I could see people just automatically thinking that Brilliant Fusion's already been activated this turn, and then it won't do much and not stopping it, and then all of a sudden there's a Gemnite Fusion card getting out of the deck from that.
Oh, yes. Brilliant Fusion is very strong, but really it's Gemnite Fusion because it's so easy to use. You get a zillion fusion summons off of it. A lot of the time, this deck can't do as well as it can if it doesn't see Gemnite Fusion. Brilliant Fusion is a very strong card, but it's only one fusion summon. Gemnite Fusion is a lot of fusion summons. Rescue Rabbit. You play Rescue Rabbit because it puts 2 gem monsters on the field. It's an auto Gemnite Link. What else to say about it?
It's not too bad to normal summon it because you get extra normals with this deck as well.
Yeah, pretty much that. It's also an Earth monster, which you can banish for a Black Dragon if you have extra copies in hand. Gemnite Lapis is one of the better Gemnite normal monsters you can play because it's level 3. It's fusion material for Lapis Lazuli, and also what else? It's a rock type monster. So unlike the other Gemnite normals, Tourmaline, Garnet, and Sapphire, those are all Aqua, Pyro, and Thunder. Lapis is a rock type monster, which means she's searchable by Black Dragon once again, which is very nice.
And then, go ahead.
Oh, okay. Tourmaline is the other normal you may play, although in this instance of the deck, it should be Garnets. If you have extra deck spots that you feel you can spare, you want to play Tourmaline because in those extra deck spots, you want Prismora. Because Prismora is very good for outing Floodgates and troublesome cards. And he requires a Thunder-type monster to fusion summon for. What's also interesting about Tourmaline is he's an Earth Thunder, which works very nicely for Curious. So you can summon him, and you have your Rock-type monsters that are Earth, and you also have your Mrs. Radiant, which is a beast, and you have your Link Spider, which is a Cyberse. So you just have a whole bunch of Earth-type Earth attribute monsters with many different types, which makes Curios fairly easy to access mid-combo, which is very nice because he sets up Black Dragon, Crystal Rose, Lazuli, or Gemnite Fusion. Brilliant Fusion is an undeniable 3 of, no questions. It's an amazing combo starter. If you have this and a Gemnite monster, you FTK. There's a lot of good stuff about it. You dump Block Dragon to the grave to summon Zirconia. So it's a foolish for your Zirconia, or foolish for your Black Dragon, or if you have, if you already have Black Dragon, it dumps a whole bunch of Lazulis in order to recur your normals from the grave and summon out something like a Master or a Brilliant Diamond. Foolish Burial is another copy of Black Dragon, but it's more niche, more versatile than that because you can also dump Crystal Rose, which is a very nice grave effect, and Gemnite Lazuli. What else can I say? Gemnite Garnet, Gemnite Fusion, auto 3 of, because you always want to see a copy of it, and if they ash your quartz to search it, it hurts a lot. So you want to see it without it being possible for them to ash your quartz, which is also incidentally a good reason for Kyrios, because he can dump the Gemini Fusion and get it through even if your quartz gets ashed. But moving on, it's very strong. You use it a zillion times in a turn and they just die. Soul Charge is a very strong combo extender. If you don't have access to Black Dragon, you can play this and you'll pretty much just win off of that.
Yeah, if you've been stopped a lot but you've put your resources in the grave, you're able to just come out of it.
Oh yes, 100%. It fills your board with a whole bunch of special summon monsters, so Lapis Lazuli will burn them for 3k a pop, and then you just do that a couple of times, and that's that. Unexpected Die is a 3 of because it so easily gets you your Gemnite Quartz on the field. You play that, you normal a gem, you make Quartz, and then from there you can pop off.
Going into the side deck, Rogue was really expected, like, mainly stun, like, to make an appearance with Inspector Border's release. So we have 3 Danko in the side. Droll, of course, Tricksters were kind of thought of to be the deck heading into this tournament by a lot of people as well. So Droll's one of the better hand traps against that. We have 2 Veilers. Veiler saw a ton of play everywhere. I assume Kumungus is an Earth perhaps to help with Block Dragon, is why he might be playing 2 of these here as the only Kaiju.
Kind of. Yeah, it's better than Gamma Seal because it's an Earth.
And then we have 2 Prohibition. I guess it was just for anything wild that might be out there, or I guess if he played against the Pendulum deck, he could just call the Pendulum Link Heavy Metal Foes Electromite. And then we have 3 Twin Twisters as well. I guess you get extra value in this deck dumping some of the things with Twin Twisters, especially when you know that you're going second. And then you can take us through the extra deck as well, because you obviously know more about... I didn't even know this deck could summon VFD, but I guess Block Dragon's a 9, right?
Oh, no, it's an 8.
Oh, it's an 8? How does... He gets out with the fusions?
The 9s you use are Gemnite Master Diamond. So what you tend to do in VFD plays is you combo off, you burn them for like 7,000, and then you say, dang it, I don't have quite that much left to go, but I have 2 Master Diamonds on the field. I can make this VFD, completely shut him down for next turn, keep this Lapis Lazuli in the grave, and then just burn him for a spare 1,000 next turn.
And sorry for my OCG talk, everybody. That's True King of all calamities that we're talking about there.
Oh no, I understand completely.
Yeah.
I use OCG names a lot too. But Brilliant Diamond is in the extra because it can be any fusion, and it also has 3 materials, which is good for Brilliant Fusion, because you can Brilliant Fusion and dump 3 Gemnites if you already have Block Dragon, and that's very good. And while Master Diamond has the same amount of materials, Brilliant Diamond can also be a Lapis Lazuli if you don't have Lapis, or it can be a Seraphonite if you choose to summon Seraphonite that turn. Lapis Lazuli and Master Diamond at 3, because you want both at 3 in order to get the FTK. Very strong, very good, fairly consistent. Actually, pretty darn consistent. Seraphonite, because you can use Crystal Rose, anything, Brilliant Fusion in order to go into it, and it works nicely with Rabbit and the Predaplants. Zirconia is there as the, I guess it's this deck's Seraphonite, kind of, because it's a foolish target for your Block Dragon. Tricking of all calamities was discussed. Curios is, I think I already went over it briefly, but basically you can access it really easily, and it's really good because you can dump your Gemini Fusion mid-combo if you don't have access to it. You can dump your Block Dragon mid-combo if you don't have access to it. Or, if you want, you can just use it to move your Link pointers over a bit and dump a free Lazuli. After that, we have 2 Phantom Courts in case the first one gets hit or something. You want to be able to go into the second one because it's such a strong Link monster. It's amazing. This is the best Link monster I could have possibly imagined the deck getting.
Yeah, like he said, he didn't get to like end it on 1 turn a lot of the time, so I imagine 2 came in really handy.
Oh, absolutely. If the game goes longer than the first turn, you 100% want 2 in the extra deck. Link Spider is there for Curios mostly. It seems debatable. I could see it being dropped for Prismora or for Proxy Dragon. Proxy Dragon in case you wanted to use the Predaplants for Link material mid-combo, because they can't go into anything in this extra deck. And that's kind of awkward, but not really most of the time. Anyway, and then capping it off is Mrs. Radiant, because you can use your Block Dragons and a Quartz for it. And yeah, that's about it. So,
thank you, GCD. Obviously, you know way more about this deck. And a huge congrats again to Jesse Flores for taking this and doing so well with it. I'm really impressed at how diverse this format is, where I think it's one of those formats where we're going to see easily 30 decks, if they haven't already, top regionals, like 2 Cosmos top this weekend, also down in South America. It's just crazy right now, and I'm really enjoying the diversity, even though the YCS made it look kind of like we're entering where there's a deck to beat. It's still really diverse at regionals, at least, it seems, and even in the top cut of the YCS. Thanks for joining me, GCD.
Happy to be here.